Hello and welcome to Leaders of Tomorrow, India's only daily television platform for small businesses. Now, over the past 7 years, we have understood what matters the most to you, the entrepreneur. And in year 8, we are taking two of your most pressing concerns head on, those of funding and mentoring. I'm Sumit Lakhotia, and on the show tonight, we bring you an exclusive sit-down conversation with SIDBI. Tonight on Leaders of Tomorrow, we present to you an exclusive conversation with the Chief Managing Director of SIDBI, Mohammad Mustafa. He spoke to us about the current situation of NPAs in the nation and how lending to small and medium businesses can be improved. Let's take a look.
Thank you so much for joining us on this exclusive interview here on the Leaders of Tomorrow, talking about all things that are needed for the SME and the MSME space, and who better than to have you here on the show. I want to kickstart today's interview by saying that the last time we had spoken to you, it had been, it was your early days at SIDBI. It's been a while now since we've had the opportunity to speak to you, Mr. Mustafa. If you can talk to us about, what the past year has really been like for you, both personally as well as here at SIDBI.
Yeah. See, as far as the organization is, it is completely transformed organization. From, if you look at the organization looked like in year August 17, from anything, from business to our developmental initiatives, even other initiatives, even the building itself, not only here, across India, we see, everything is transformed. Whether our finances, our loans, our approaches, our policy, everything is new now. We've completely revamped, we've made it far more, contemporary and in line with the times, and with a focus on active interventions for the benefit of SMEs.
Okay. Is that your personal vision, to ensure that SIDBI becomes this embodiment really of how things are changing for SMEs?
Yeah, definitely. If you see, we in September 17 itself, we unveiled a new program known as SIDBI 2.0. So that's the vision statement that we try and pursue. So it basically moves from SIDBI from what SIDBI was earlier doing. They were doing some kind of direct role. They were trying to behave as if they were a bank. Actually, though it is a financial institution, but it is not a bank, and we have a limitation. Though the purpose for the creation of SIDBI was financing development of small scale industry, now you can call SMEs. But they were trying to do everything with 80 branches and a single big office. You can't do anything. So we have made it now a very different organization, which is basically facilitative, which is working on the ecosystem, sure, which is working in cooperation with other institutions, banks, so far more cooperative. Okay. So it's absolutely changed philosophy for SIDBI.
Okay, changed philosophy, definitely changed physical infrastructure. The last time we met you, it was called the MSME Bhavan?
Yeah, MSME Bhavan, because that was the traditional name, but now we have clubbed all our entrepreneurial P&D activities, everything under mission, which is known as Swavalamban.
Okay. I will come back and talk about the Swabhalan scheme for small businesses, but this is your first post-budget interview that you're doing. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I want to start this by talking about the big announcement that came for small businesses, and that's as far as the finance minister saying we recognize the pain point of small businesses when it comes to raising finance, and she spoke about invoice financing by NBFCs. Your initial thoughts on that? How is that going to work, if you can help businesses understand how it works?
Definitely. See, if you see where is the problem for SMEs now? Basically because they are sort of working capital. And how is it happening? If you see, traditional working capital cycle, which is recognized by financial literature, even by banks, is actually 90 days. Sure. But it has changed now. There are 2-3 things happened. Because of it, now it has become 120 days. Even that has happened because of the government intervention. But if you see what has happened in last, 1 year, it has become 180 days. So nobody is financing that period. So in that context, TRADE's platform is very, very important. And there have been 3-4 major announcements that have taken place. Movement of all PSUs to TRADES. So that is a big thing. Second is movement of all corporates with the turnover more than 500 crore to TRADES. If that happens, as it has started, the transition is not complete. But it is going to be a big step. Now coming to what happens if NBFCs come. It is a big game changer, because if you see the profile of financing of banks on TRADES platform, you'll see basically they have been financing manufacturers who are actually their own client. There are very few financing of new clients actually.
Okay.
So that is not happening. And then bank has their own risk management practices, their own profiling of the client. So that way, NBFC is coming on the platform, that's going to change because people, rate of interest of 1% will not matter that much, as much the speed at which the loan is given. Because NBFCs are far more risk taking, so we believe that this is going to play a very big role.
Sure. How much will the turnaround time for loans now come down? You're saying it'll become much faster.
No, much faster in the sense they quickly do it. Quickly do in the sense, see, even on trades, the moment you sanction a loan, you get the money immediately. But the problem is that the banks do take time. They are not ready to finance everybody. So NBFC, they can take far more risk than banks, traditional banks.
Sure. But given everything that's been happening with NBFCs of late, do you think perhaps they will have the appetite? Yes, the announcement has been made, but implementation of these announcements.
No, I think if you see this trades financing is a short-term financing. I think that's not a concern at all. So that they can raise money, they can match, and even there are a whole lot of NBFCs which are bigger and stronger. Even they are not able to participate on this platform. They have been trying. I think it is good for everybody.
Okay. Do you think this is going to fix the problem, at least in the short term?
Short term, yes, it can fix, but it will also depend on the institutions, the corporates with 500 crore or more turnover and the PSUs, that they move most of the clients to the trade platform. So that is going to be very important.
Okay. I do want to also talk about the scheme where the Prime Minister himself had announced saying that sanction of loans up to 1 crore under 59 minutes. If you can give us an update on how that's if you have any updates on that.
That has been a great success story. So if you see right now up till some time back, I had checked the figure. They have what you call 1,55,000 applications they have processed so far. Out of that, roughly around applications for tune of 40,000 crore has come from the marketplace. And if you look at the disbursals, it is almost now 40,000 crore through a single platform.
Sure.
Which is, I think, no big player, no big bank has been able to add that much a figure.
Okay.
And it has completely transformed banking the way you look at it. Because if you're in the formal system, if you've got document, immediately you will get the finance.
Okay. Experts are divided. Some of them saying it's a fantastic move. You have, NBFCs, fintech companies, which are able to give loans in, fast, under 1 hour in this instance. Others saying we shouldn't have an infrastructure-like situation where banks are being forced to lend to a particular sector.
No, I think that these people are completely, they haven't understood how it is. See, this platform is just a front platform. Actually, on the back of it, all banks are working. See, what has happened, this platform was created in collaboration with all the banks, some basically public sector and now private sector banks have also joined it. So what happens in the engine when a person comes on the platform, he applies for a loan, the platform checks his eligibility, and then once he is eligible, those are mapped against the loan policies of different banks. So you have to understand now, there is at the second there is a continuous interaction between banks and the platform through APIs. So wherever that policy prescribes or supports, yes, this loan can be given, then those offers are given to the borrower. Okay. So now those are sorted in the order of the rate of interest. The lower the rate of interest, it will be on the top. The higher the rate of interest will be on in the bottom. So it's a bank loan which is being given. Platform is not giving anything. Okay. Platform is just a medium. I think these people have not understood the right end.
Okay. Sitting at the beginning of 2020 then, if you were to look forward and through this interview, speak to our viewers to say that this is how I see the liquidity situation in the country panning out, what would you say?
See, I think, liquidity, if at system level liquidity, it's very good, you must be aware. Now, as far as SMEs are concerned, there is some problem, but I think trades is going to take it away, particularly with NBFCs coming and as the corporates move to trades. And then you see another, I think another invoice financing, it is before the bill is accepted. I think this was announced this time. So that is also going to make a lot of difference.
Okay, a couple of other things that were announced in the budget that I would love to get your thoughts on. One is the government e-marketplace. When we launched season 8 of Leaders of Tomorrow, we spoke with the Minister for MSME, Nitin Gadkari, and he said this is going to ease a lot of the supply concerns and the demand concerns that small businesses are having as far as having this government e-marketplace is concerned. I would like to get your thoughts on
Yeah,
the announcement.
it's a great step. Only thing, the movement of SMEs quickly on this platform, so that needs to be facilitated. And there we are doing a lot of work. We have entered into an agreement with GEM company, and now all the programs that we are doing, we keep on doing outreach programs. We interact with the state governments, and we are now establishing a project management units in different states, which will be basically we can say 2-3 people comprising of experts from private sector who will be appointed by SIDBI to help the state to ease the issues relating to SME financing.
Sure.
So, and even financial, non-financial, everything. So that is also through that measure, and then we are also going to launch what we call dedicated cluster outreach program in top 10 clusters. There we are going to appoint agencies, NBFCs, fintechs to carry out government which are linked to cash incentive actually. So there we are going to give it a big push.
Okay. The other announcement that happened was as far as SIDBI and Exim Bank are concerned, and the fund of funds. An update on how that's really
That's
working.
basically it's a support program for the medium industry who are not able to export and they need some kind of hand-holding at the debt. So that is we both SIDBI and Exim Bank will jointly support this program. And we hope, we are finalizing the scheme right now. After the scheme is finalized, and then we'll launch it.
Okay, that's as far as SMEs and MSMEs are concerned. Some announcements coming for startups as well. Definitely positive, but I would like to get your thoughts on that. One is exemption of 3 years of the 10 years that companies have been operational. Second is, no tax as far as ESOPs are concerned. As a business and as an organization that has the fund of funds that's looking so closely at startups,
I think
just your message for them.
These have been demands from the industry for a very long time, so I think they should be happy about it.
Sure.
Even otherwise, if you see earlier also government has given many concessions to a startup industry, and government is doing everything to promote them.
It's time for a short break on that note, but we'll continue this exclusive conversation with Mohammad Mustafa of SIDBI on the other side. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're with us here on Leaders of Tomorrow, and tonight we're continuing to bring you the highlights of an exclusive conversation with the Chief Managing Director of SIDBI, Mohammad Mustafa.
Let's talk quickly as we're running out of time on this interview as far as any new initiatives that you can share with us at SIDBI.
See, SIDBI, as part of Swavalamban, we are doing many things. See, one unique thing that we are trying, we are starting Swavalamban Express. It will leave Lucknow on 1st May, and it will be traveling across India from Lucknow to Jammu to Delhi to Mumbai to Bangalore. I mean, it will crisscross entire India, and the journey has been structured in such a way that the people, when they start from Lucknow, they will have to have a dream. And when they get down from the train at Varanasi, they have to have a business plan.
Okay.
So that is how it is structured. So that is one big initiative that we've taken. That will start on 1st.
What sort of businesses are you inviting?
We are not inviting business. We are inviting entrepreneurs. Somebody who has a dream wants to do something. So we are inviting dreamers. So
and you're going to have mentors on board?
Yeah, mentors on board. Every coach will have mentors, and every big city that we are going, they are going to meet who's who of the corporate industry. Since we have not finalized the names, but they will meet everybody, anybody who matters in the ecosystem. So we'll be moving the journey in such a way that he's actually developing an idea for the business. He's testing the market, he's testing the legal framework, and he understands how to approach capital, how he gets capital, and launches his product. So the journey is very unique that way.
Sure.
So that is one. Secondly, we are going to have a very big event on 1st and 2nd June in Delhi. It is known as Let's Partner. So basically, it is a funding exercise where more than 500 startups will be invited to pitch, and we are getting around 100 people, 100 funds from across the globe who are going to be there. So it's going to be a big event. So that's one. Thirdly, we've launched a very new program known as Swavalamban Connect Kendra, under which what happens, in particular local area on a particular day will announce a phone number. So anybody who is interested in pursuing his dream, pursuing what you call, he wants to start some kind of business, can give a missed call to that number. Sure. After they give that missed call, then somebody follows up. Basically, we have created a network of NGOs across the country. Right now, we have started it in 100 districts of 5 states, which UP, Bihar, Jharkhand. So what happens after, then they will call him, they will profile him, they will talk to him, they will understand what business he can do, they will skill him, they will make a business plan for him, they will keep him participating all throughout, and then finally ensure that he gets the financing. So this is a very different way. You just give him his call and then you follow it up.
Sure.
So it's a very different program that we just launched. And then apart from it, we have also started another initiative, which is we are organizing Swavalamban Melas. We are getting rural artisans from different areas and bringing them together in a prominent place. Say we can bring them to Delhi. If you see Mandesi Foundation, you must be aware. They are working in the area of poverty. So they have got a unique organization of network of tribal women who make different kind of, so they are being brought to Delhi. Sure. So we do organize, and SIDBI bears all the expenditure. Okay. So that's how it is. So that we want to promote, we want to give them market so that they come and they actually make money.
There were announcements as far as digital and the digital push on the part of the government is concerned in the budget, particularly for Tier 2 and Tier 3. Very quickly, as part of your new initiatives and your new thrust, what part of it is going to be on a digital platform?
Digital is, you can say, hallmark of our activities. Whatever we do, whatever new scheme we launch, I just explained to you about Swavalamban Connect initiative. Yeah. So everything through digital mode only. So sure. Recently we completely digitized. We had a loan scheme for loans below 5 lakhs for poor people, for livelihood businesses. So it was up till now through paper mode. Recently we've completely digitized it. And it is basically in use in Tier 2, 3, 4 cities actually, in rural areas basically. Sure. So that's going to work. Even otherwise, whatever we do, it's through digital mode only.
Okay. At the start of this decade then, if through this interview you could address our entrepreneurs to talk about what in your mind are the biggest opportunities and what are the biggest challenges for them?
See, obviously the opportunity, the huge market that India has got, so that's the opportunity. Sure. And challenges, you have to be very clear in your mind what do you want to do. So it simply can't be said that there is no finance, so it's not correct. There are a whole lot of agencies are working, skill centers are working, financing corporations are working, banks are working to help you. Many government programs are running, many state government programs are running. So there's a lot of opportunity available. Only thing you have to have very clear as to what you want to do. On the other side, this for the traditional SME. On the startups, the situation is different. So there, I will say that the biggest challenge is for Indian startups is lack of IP-based businesses. If you see, our startup space is basically dominated by what you call innovation of existing business models. So everything sharing. You must have seen that. Yeah. So there, and if you look at the number of international patents that we apply, so that is a challenge. We apply for very few. If you see, into year 2018, US had applied for 58,000, China for 47,000, and we had applied for roughly around 2,000 international patents. So that is one area where startups have to focus and sure. create more and more IP-based business. So that will be a big change there. And then secondly, as I see, a lot of challenge with respect to middle stage financing. There is a good financing available for startups at seed level and obviously at the growth level. So mid-term, there is a series A, B, there is a problem, and that can only go with the better because of better business models that can be resolved.
Sure. Speaking of startups, if you can perhaps talk about which areas or which segments you expect will start picking up. We've seen a lot of movement when it comes to digital payments of the last year or two. Any other trends?
Right now, see, this is the decade of consumer tech, basically, because of the huge population that we've got. So there are so many efforts and many successful efforts on consumer tech. And many businesses, if you see, from taxi to rooms to everything else. So consumer tech is actually the focus.
Okay. So what's the last word then from the SIDBI chairman when it comes to the current lending and the funding situation for India's small businesses? What do you want to leave us with?
I think I would like to say that government is doing so many things. We are doing, banks are doing. And there is everybody there to help them out. Whatever we, as I told you, we have SCK. If you have any problem, you can give a missed call, then we'll take you forward. Then we have Udyami Mitra. If you want support, whether it is financial, non-financial, you can go to that. If you are in formal system, please come through online PSB loans. And if you have some financing or liquidity issues, please use the third platform. So we have a bouquet of services which people can use.
Sure. All right, sir. Thank you very much for your time here on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that's all the time that we have tonight on this episode of Leaders of Tomorrow. If you have any feedback for us, here's how you can get in touch with us. Our contact details will be up on your screen in just a moment. Do get in touch with us. We love hearing from you. Thank you so much for watching and have a good night.